But either way, they have a lot of comfort heroes. Shaggy's Ember Spirit is really solid. B-God's got a Skywrath Mage. Jubei's playing Clockwork, which he likes a lot. The Dawnbreaker will be a bit interesting. And Scourge McDuck's played Medusa a decent amount of times, 2 DPC seasons ago when it was one of the big heroes. So they've got a lot of comfort here. They've got some really solid team fight, and it is a little bit harder for EG to start fights. So there's some good stuff going from this game. We'll see if they can make a more competitive match.
I think you're completely wrong, and I'm sure
have all those wonderful voice lines that have been coming out recently, so be sure we'll be hearing quite a few of those. But yeah, you know, we've got people on those comfort heroes, the Ember, the Skywrath, the Clock. So perhaps this is the game that you know, the Cut will be able to strike back and even out the score. But timing, of course, going to be important. Yeah, they ping out. They're like, yep, there's Vision over here. Cut it down. Nice. Get some gold on Shaggy to start him off.
I think you're completely wrong, and I'm sure you know you're completely wrong.
I love that one.
It's so good.
It's turning me quite toxic, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my pubs. I mean, you played games with me the other day. You know what I'm like.
Oh, just mean all the time, just telling everyone they're bad. Yes,
yes,
it's really
spamming
tough
the
to play
voice
pubs with you.
lines every single time. Yeah. Very toxic gamer here. But yeah, so a little bit of the advantage going over to Abed here with his block, but and I'm sure with all the games of Ember that Shaggy has played, he knows how to deal with this lane pretty well.
Yeah, it'll be fine for now. The lane I'm most curious about actually is Razor against Medusa. If they can get the creep wave away from Scourge McDuck's side, it could be really good for EG here, because I mean, damage staffing Medusa is already great. She's also a very, very slow hero, 275, so she can definitely get ran down, especially with Marcy on top of that. So that's kind of a scary thing for the Cut side. And first creep wave did get pushed a bit, so once they hit level 2, we'll see if that ends up being a good timing for EG on the offlane. So far mid, going pretty good for Shaggy. 5-1, 2-2 of Abed. He's getting a couple denies here.
Again, this is one of Shaggy's, probably his best heroes, one that he's most well known for. So, whereas Abed, as Jenkins joked around, you know, this is like his top 3 hero at this point, having the Storm and the Puck, of course, stand out. But Abed, a very, very good player. As Crit, seeing this opening here, is gonna try to jump forward. They tap a little bit of that damage from the Medusa.
Yeah, that's that rundown that's so good. They just use rebound, to get all this extra movement speed, and Scourge McDuck loses a bunch of HP. This will not be the last time this happens in the lane, and Jubei's entire job is certainly to try to stabilize this. Now that he's got power cogs, it'll be a bit easier. That's a great solution. That way you can just put cogs between the Dusa and the Razor, disjoining and stopping the fight. But if Crit's also able to dispose the Dusa and throw her on top of Nightfall, as long as Nightfall sits on top of Medusa, then it's gonna be harder for Jubei to find that separation. So they have to be careful in this lane, because this game definitely rests on Medusa being moderately farmed, so that she can bring strong net worth against Tiny.
Yeah, that's what Jenkins was saying. That with the Silver Edge, if you've got the advantage here, it's going to be very difficult for this Medusa. So a lot of eyes, lots of pressure down there.
I agree a lot with what he said about moving heroes as well. It's one of the solutions against Medusa, right? You can, if you toss her back, you force her to use her ulti. If you do it a second time, she's very killable. And Tiny's also got a huge amount of armor, so he doesn't care as much about her damage. It's more about finding the right moments to take the fight. So if you've got a Bat Rider on your team who's great at pulling people out of position, and Ortiza can also look for those opportunities, having toss back, those are good ways to potentially start the fight to give EG a good engagement.
Now, are we more? I feel like it's one of those things where we're more concerned about the Bat Rider having, like in a toe-to-toe matchup sort of thing, right? Because it looks like, you know, Ember's doing quite well, Bat's doing quite well. It's an even draw for the time being, but I feel like it's one of those things that, you know, the Bat Rider is going to get that level 6, and he's going to just start becoming very, very active with that last one. Was in the bottom lane, just like we talked about. If you're even a little bit out of position, you're going to get punished here by this EG lineup. In fact, no mana left here on the Medusa. Jubei with the battery assault will protect, but it's going to be a bit difficult for her to approach.
He actually didn't get power cogs level 2. I'm a little surprised. I wonder if he did that to secure a range creep or something, but...
So bottom lane, they jump right back over onto Scourge. Just need maybe one more click over onto Dusa. Nightfall trying to break some ankles here. Battery assault does connect, is in the top lane to putting the pressure over onto Arteezy, and Arteezy's going to fall first. As they'll turn their attention back to Scourge. They really want this kill. Nightfall draining forward the rebound. Can they finish off Scourge? So finally, it'll take some doing, but they'll be able to do it. Now they've got all this damage on Nightfall, so should be able to finish off Jubei.
That was really well done by Nightfall. I love how he chased after the Medusa, but didn't necessarily commit to hitting her all the way to death. It's like he's like, all right, I just took you down to like 10% HP. I could maybe right-click you to death, but I probably also died a tower. Instead, he just followed her, forcing them to waste time and waited until he got his spells again before he went back in. And then picking up level 3 at the sidekick just really rubbed salt in the wounds, because then he just gets healed up after killing Jubei for that double kill. So yeah, the catastrophic is kind of happening here for the cut in the safe lane. And now with the creep wave where it is, as long as Nightfall holds this creep wave out of Scourge's range, he just can't even approach anymore. So now Nightfall is going to get some even more last hit separation.
This is a guy that consistently finds his farm if you give him even the littlest bit of breathing room. So definitely a bit scary here for the cut. Top lane, though, they have put a lot of good pressure on Arteezy. They got a kill on him. So they are slowing down the Tiny a little bit. But not enough comparatively with CS.
Yeah, that was a big moment. Killing Arteezy, definitely. But yeah, his CS is still very high, 26 versus the 19 on Dawnbreaker. And you can't forget, of course, that he has a Warlock sitting behind him. He's got 2 points in Shadow Word ready to go. Warlock himself is very tanky. He's got a fluffy hat. He's got the magic stick. So even if Arteezy loses a lot of HP, as long as he doesn't die, it's going to be okay. Doesn't even use his wand. Is that a salve from an ally? It is. Very short. But it's going to get him to half HP. And Fly using sticks here is going to put Arteezy back up to full HP, more or less. If the man would shred switch, there we go. He's got it. That's the last heal that Warlock's got for a bit, so if the cut could potentially take another pressure again, it would be great.
Oh man, they are just putting the pressure down on Scourge. They dispose, turn right back around. They've got all this damage on Nightfall. Nightfall's just having the time of his life in this lane.
I think Jubei messed up a lot, not getting Power Cogs level 2. He got it here at 3, but I feel like this was a like, oh no, I messed up skill point. I think that was the other reason EG was so confident diving before. They probably saw Clock use Rock, and they're like, this guy has Rocket Flare, no cogs. Now we definitely can do whatever we want to Medusa. And they've just abused her now.
Shaggy gonna be able to grab the Illusion Room top, and we do have the level 6 online for Batrider. He's holding the point for now, perhaps waiting for a good opportunity. And I think he had just used the Firefly too, so there was no point in trying to get a drag.
In a lot of cases, Batrider's value in these early mid moments comes from the side lane ganks. He just finds some side lane core that can't defend himself, and he kills him.
Man, this pressure though being placed on Arteezy. Is he gonna survive this one? Shadow Word coming in handy. He's already popped that Fairy Fire. This needs to survive a little bit longer. I think he's just barely gonna make it. Oh, there we go. There's the other one. There's nothing that they can do this time other than, oh, they do have the Shadow Word, but the hammer will secure the kill.
Some effort, but they definitely got him. Imagine how fast he would die if he didn't have a Warlock backing him up.
Oh god, yeah.
With that said, though, if it was a hero that had a stun, they could also just stun the heroes while the carry walked away. There's 2 ways to look at it here. And having this dual lane that has moments where they can do a ton of damage to one hero, like Dawnbreaker and Sky can do, it works really good in this situation. So offsets the heal benefit. Yeah, you can heal him, but in terms of a 3-second window, you're only healing them like 150 HP or something. It would be better generally to be able to stun back to keep them alive.
Nightfall putting more pressure down. They are going to see the TP coming in as he gets a little bit of the drain, but Shaggy with this rotation is taking a bit of damage here from the Eye of the Storm crit. Getting into position though, does manage to get the dispose off. Follow up with Big Plasma, and they're chasing after Nightfall, but he's so fast that they're going to have to satisfy themselves with a kill on crit. Shaggy makes his rotation here bottom.
That was nice. Scourge rotates back over from clearing the small camp, and yeah, they get 1 kill in safely. I'm sure they were asking for that one for a while. But nice that Shaggy makes a rotation and gets all these extra levels.
Where'd all these creeps come from? They just drag them off from the side here? I didn't see where Abed grabbed them. Assuming so.
Yeah. He's going for the Boots of Bearing Batrider build. We saw this a little popularized at the Major. We saw Whisper doing it often from the offlane Batrider. So no Boots of Travel here. But once he gets it, he doesn't get slowed anymore by being attacked, and then having Tranquil Boots doesn't feel bad at all. So it's going to make his team really good at running down his opponents. So it'll be a cool build.
Fly just trying to get some sap here in the middle lane. Doesn't quite have that level 6 online yet, but should be able to just hang back unless Shaggy decides to get very aggressive, which honestly, it's Shaggy. It's possible. Keyboard not working for Medusa. Oh no.
Not like this.
He just used Sleight of Fist against Fly, so I don't expect him to be... I mean, if he gets dove, there's no TP on Marcy. Razor, Batrider both have one, and Arteezy also could teleport. So hypothetically, he could chase for this, but his mana is slightly low. He has to use 2 remnants, then you basically are out of mana. They're 150 each, and Ember's mana pool at this position is not the highest. So this is pretty normal Warlock. You put the heal on yourself and you walk away. And your Warlock has always had really good strength game, 3.0 strength per level. So great mana, great int. He's just got old crusty bones, so he's not very agile, but he can take some damage.
You leave his old man bones alone. It's not his fault. He would have youthful bones if he could.
Abed skilling up 3 points Firefly. Still no lasso here because he knows he doesn't need it just yet. They're pressuring the map quite well, right? Dusa had a rough laning stage. He's farming aggressively on the enemy side of the map. He'll get level 9 kind of soon anyways. It will be fine.
I mean, the flip side of that, though, they have put some decent pressure on Arteezy this game because he's not looking at the top of that net worth either right now. Middle lane, a little bit of a jump. They have B-God here, and he'll secure a kill.
That's the burst we're talking about. Got to break his bones quickly. Don't let him heal.
Feels bad he got killed by someone with hollow bird bones.
Oh, that's true. It's really rubbing it in there.
Yeah.
Hey, your bones are like mine. Kills him.
Excellent.
So B-God sitting to stack here for Scourge McDuck, who is still trying to catch up. You know, Tiny is a little behind, but not as behind as Medusa is, sitting 3.1k right now. She will catch up if she's able to get stacks, though.
Well, it's pretty hard to... Oh, he almost manages to finish off crit here, but not quite enough. And again, Marcy is one of those very agile heroes.
I gotta say, watching Shaggy interact with Marcy, it does seem like a pretty good hero to punish Marcy's support. She is very mobile. You can lock her down with Searing Chains. Seems okay.
The leap forward, plus those drums, and they're going to try to get the drag back with silence. The heal, though, coming out from the Dawnbreaker. Going to be able to thrive a little bit longer here, as now it looks like they're going to be able to punish Abed. He's going to fall. As the rest of the team make their way over, they were protecting their Medusa, and by God, did they do it.
That's got to be a morale booster there for the cut. That was a great defense there. Medusa also, very crucially, Scourge McDuck was able to get some distance between his opponents and himself. So he got a couple hundred more units away. That means that their hate came a little bit later, and then the rest of the cut heroes were able to defend him a bit. So very good moment there for them. Shutting down that aggression, no lasso for 80 seconds now, and that's going to give Scourge probably time to clear these ancient stacks. I mean, imagine if it goes the other way. It would have been the story of last game. One core pickoff leads to an objective, maybe tier 1 tower dying. Could have been catastrophic, but now they win the fight. Scourge gets some golden experience, and he gets time to clear ancients, which should allow him to catch up or exceed what Tiny's current net worth is.
Top lane, they see Rajex. They'll start with the Avalanche, drop some of that Firefly. A little bit of a slow, but they'll bounce back the top into the air. Rajex, it's taking a while. In fact, they can turn this right back around. They can get themselves a double kill. Oh my God. Somebody tip this guy. What a god.
They're doing it. They're doing it again.
Oh, not the toxic tip. No, that's not what I meant. Oh, no.
Amazing for the cut. B-God showing up at the right time to add some damage. Let's watch that again. Look, they use their spells well. Beating on Rajex, the toss here from Tiny was very well done, but the rotations came. Who needs an Atos when you got an Ember Spirit mid? So B-God's spells perfectly land on 2 heroes there. And hi Shaggy, 1-0 and 5. B-God 2-0 and 5. They're having a great game. 3-1 and 3 now on Rajex. He did die in that engagement, but they got to be happy. This is buying time for Medusa to catch up from that rough laning stage. That's what they needed.
Yeah, that is one for the cuts highlight reel right there. Definitely very, very good for them. So again, more breathing room for the Medusa, as stated. And still do have to be a bit concerned. Nightfall in his traditional offlane position. Still sitting at the very top here of this net worth. But Shaggy also having a great game. And Rajex this time around, he's been able to get more done on his hero, because in some of the past ones that we've seen, he's struggled. Oh, they did manage to find themselves Rajex, speak of the devil, and he will appear. So that's another kill here for Nightfall, but they used quite a bit for that kill.
They did. Yeah, the Cut's been being pretty careful in how they push out their lanes. Right before this, Medusa walked mid, threw a snake, and just walked away from the creep wave. He didn't want to get those 2 last hits because he was worried about something like this happening. For Radix there, he basically uses his hammer on the creep wave, he runs away, but the way that Abed approached was really cool. He flew over the big tree clump right by the tier 2 tower and got the lasso off before Radix could react. So it was a nice way to approach, and it got him a kill, but they're not going to be able to kill the tower out of this. So these movements from EG are fine, but the fact that the 2 of those big rotations failed and 2 of those ganks failed has put the Cut in a really good position. They should be happy with the game state right now.
Is this just this? I feel like they're playing the same story, so to speak. Like, right, you need to get the Medusa farm. You need to get Arteezy farm, though, too. So it's just kind of making space the entire time. Maybe not necessarily being able to catapult off of that and taking objectives.
Yeah, exactly. If you get kills, it's even better. I mean, the space is technically being created because Tiny's getting farmed, but
that was close.
No hookshot land. They're trying to land a combo there with Sky with Mage. They maybe could have killed Crit. It's pretty tanky, 1200 HP with a 10 stick, but they probably could have, maybe would have got him. With a couple of rotations of Arcane Bolt, it might be enough. So continuing to farm, Dusa is ahead of Tiny by just a little bit. Nightfall, still an absolute freaking monster. His ability to stay on the top of net worth is, it happens every time. It's incredible.
Well, he is the former core player. So he's able to find that farm whenever possible. And it does feel like we've seen this advent of these offlaners who are more greedy and who are building more like cores recently. At least seeing that definitely over in Western Europe.
Yeah, it does happen sometime. It's an Omar specialty, certainly. That guy won the major, so it's got to be good, right? But speaking of farm, Nightfall has his freaking BKB finished.
Oh my god.
Now they're going to force a fight mid. Does Abed have Blink? Not yet.
Not yet.
Very far away, actually.
The run forward, though, coming out from Crit, gets silenced immediately, but again, Nightfall, he is just gonna run you down. And, okay, the hookshot, though, from Jubei will slow him down. Pops the BKB, Abed getting the drag back over onto Radix. This will be a good kill if EG can get it. And it's gonna take some doing, though, as they go and they drop the chaotic offering, but they haven't quite managed to land it. As the toss back over to Radix, they have been focusing on this guy for so long, as eventually Nightfall will get the kill. Now, everybody's gotta turn around. Look at the damage, though, coming out from that hold. Oh, dear. Nightfall chasing after Jubei. They see Crit, they want this kill, and they're gonna be able to get it. Bigot able to walk away, as is Arteezy here.
Going great for the Cut. Jubei's initiation was perfect. It basically separated the Razor. He forces BKB out. It weren't the one mistake that they made was that once the BKB was done, Bigot still had his ultimate ready to go. So what they need to do is wait for a Syrian Shades combo from Ember Spirit, and then followed up with Bigot's combo. Bigot moved to the left a little bit into the middle of the lane. So when Ember eventually went in about here and caught the Razor, he wasn't able to follow up. See, Bigot not able to follow up. They could have killed Razor right there in that moment. If Bigot was still on the right, that would have been a really big moment for them. But ultimately, still great. They reacted pretty decently. They're only 1k behind right now. Now they're looking for more kills.
The Fatal Bonds looked really good. Okay, the rebound. Slight kick. Hookshot, though, coming out from Jubei will separate them. As Arteezy's chasing after Scourge here. He wants this kill. They already lost Crit, though. And he's all alone on his own little island, so Arteezy does have to back away as Shaggy makes his way over. Bottom lane, again, some more pressure being placed over onto Radix. Looks like Shaggy's going to try to rotate. Not going to be able to do it in time to protect Radix, but might be able to get him something out of Nightfall. As he is caught in this corner. Fly's trying to come over here. They pop the BKB even. They're going to see if they can face it. Oh, he's just able to zip away.
That's cool. He tried. He tried to get him. It was kind of close, but yeah, Nightfall realized he was the safer one. Good pressure, and BKB didn't kill that? Nope.
It was a game of who's killing who here for half a second. He's getting very aggressive over against Jubei, but of course having Bigot and Shaggy nearby could have easily turned that around. But we do get the Blink Dagger pickup for this Bat Rider coming out to him now.
Long awaited. I would love to see the average here, because at the way those first couple fights went, it didn't go so good for Bat Rider with him dying in some of those engagements. So a big moment, certainly. So now with the Blink coming later than normal, less overall kills that EG have gone. They are still winning by about 2k net worth advantage, though. Tiny got Shard here? Yes, he does. So Moon Shard finished. The Aghanim Shard also finished. So now the Rockman carrying the piece of the Rock Moon is now farming very quickly and should be able to match Medusa for the rest of the game.
Have to DPC as we show off the blink and the drag back over onto Shaggy. They'll go in with the hook shot. It's too late to save Shaggy as Juve now is behind enemy lines. And they'll turn their attention now over to BCOD. Bit of the chase, but they're very, very fast. They've got the drums. They've got, of course, the race car Razor. They're just going to chase after him as Juve falls behind the tower, and they'll lose BCOD over in the triangle. And that is going to open up Roche with a double damage on Nightfall.
All right, finally EG wins a fight in the way that they're expecting in this game. Just absolutely executed perfect. The short range blink to grab the Ember Spirit. Jube's hook was excellent, but it was just enough chain stun with help from the Avalanche there to kill the Ember Spirit. And now with the follow-up kills that they got, easy Roche. So now EG is going to start opening up the map with this advantage because now they can be even more aggressive. They still have the Warlock Golem by the... Ooh, fly skill build. Maxed out Upheaval. I really like this skill right now. I've been poking around with Warlock a bit the last couple of months. This ability has really good potential against people that don't buy BKB especially. That's Dusa. It's also quite good against Ember Spirit, really, because if he hasn't thrown out a Remnant yet, his Remnants are not going anywhere when he does shoot them out. So I like the grab of people here for Warlock. It should make his teamfight impact a lot more than just healing.
Yeah, I was curious about the Warlock pickup because I know for quite a long time people were like, oh man, this hero is absolute garbage. But it's an interesting concept, the way that you've mentioned that, you know, Dusa doesn't want to build that BKB, and she is just so slow that a lot of the times we're seeing people just force staff her around in engagements. As Rajik's here in the bottom lane, has to teleport out, has to BKB as well. So Nightfall's got to be feeling pretty happy about that engagement.
With that said about Upheaval, it's mostly ignored. Like, I've seen a couple Warlock games. I don't even think I've seen somebody cast Upheaval one time. So I'm just excited that somebody actually feels good about it to a point where they will level it up over Fatal Bond. So I want to see how they use it.
There it is over in the mid lane. No, just going to zip away right back to that Remnant. But we do have the Blink Dagger picked up for crit. So, you know, we talk about him being very terrifying as Marcy, the joke that the Kool-Aid man. Just busting through your front door and then throwing you. It's going to make things a bit scarier for the side of the cut in that positioning. And we also get the Blink Dagger finally completed for Arteezy. So the mobility coming out from these heroes is absolutely terrifying. Boots of Bearing completed on Abed. Blinks are picked up. They do have their own mobility choices over on the cut. Obviously, you know, you've got the Clockwork who's going to be able to kind of do some of these initiations paired up with BGod. And then, of course, you know, you've got this global capability coming out from Rajix. But I just feel like if EG can get the jump, which they are smoked up and they're looking for a fight, it's going to be very difficult for them to respond on the side of the cut.
This blink is good this reason.
Hi, Shaggy. Bye. Bye, Shaggy. Yeah, he's out of there.
Oh, he gets out. That's why they needed the blink. Because if they don't blink Lasso Ember, they're never going to catch him if he's got a Remnant prepped. And he's going to because this guy plays Ember all the time. So they needed a way to blink Dispose. Rebound wasn't going to be fast enough. So that was a really good attempt.
You don't get to live here, BGod. Nope. No.
So still game pretty close though. Deuce's net worth is not bad. Manta's finished. Dip an ultimate orb, so we'll see if he goes Scotty next. Probably will be. Very good against Razor, very good against Batrider, pretty solid against Tiny. Generally the slow ends up being really obnoxious.
They have a lasso. Jubei is just going to come along for the ride apparently as they drop the Evil Alm down. Need to get the stun off, but the follow-up here, it's looking pretty good with that heal coming out from Rajik. They'll turn around, they'll get the kill on Fly. Now Shaggy is having to run for his life, but Rajik doing a decent amount of damage as they'll be able to kill crit. Stone Gaze comes out from Scourge, will force them back, although Arteezy jumping forward gets the kill on Shaggy with the toss of that heavy snake lady. And they're looking possibly to re-engage. They know they've used quite a bit over on the side of the cut. See Nightfall weaving his way through the trees. It's gonna cut this creep wave a little bit as they pop the drums, put some more damage over on the tower. Does have to be a little bit careful, sitting a bit low over on Arteezy. But EG...
He could have forced the tower, but didn't want to lose Aegis and get killed a second time. The Deuce ulti was really effective here. Helps keep him alive for a bit, but then, yeah, Arteezy jumps in and he's like, nope, sorry.
He was at 5 hit points at one point. Oh my god.
It was very close. That Golem hit. So EG again invading the Tri-Camp in the live game. They still have an Observer Ward here, and this is where their lineup thrives, right? The tossbacks, the lassos, the mobility skills. If he had a Warlock right next to him right there, I'm pretty sure Arteezy does toss back. And he still has Age for 60 seconds. It's the best time to fight.
He'll find himself Shaggy. They need to lock him down consistently, though. The Mystic Flare doing a lot of damage, though. The follow-up, that's going to be the Aegis. But now B-God, he's going to have to teleport away. Crit has his eyes on Shaggy. He wants this, but they just can't seem to grab over on the side. But they might be able to go and grab Shaggy. He's got a remnant up, but they've got the vision here. Another slide coming out for Shaggy eventually. He will end up falling as Scourge top lane does follow up with a tower. They're sitting a bit
Moxie,
low.
that was an upheaval kill. I just want everybody to know. The only reason that Shaggy died there was upheaval. You see him panic throw 2 remnants, like, get me the hell out of here. That was upheaval. All right. There we go.
I'm glad that you got that moment. I'm glad you could have this purge.
Me too. It's a legitimately powerful skill if your opponents can't move for 16 seconds.
I think we're close to the Scotty now for Scourge. He has done an absolute bang-up job being able to stay relevant this game because he had a really difficult laning stage, but he's managed to find the farm, and he's starting to become a bit of a problem here.
B-God did really well that last fight as well. Threw his combo out. BKB got popped by Razor. He gets ran out. He just TP's out. Barely ended up surviving. But those are the big moments that make B-God such a good Sky player, is that he pushes the limits really, really well. He just seems to dial us. He seems to be more evasive, more elusive than a typical Sky. A lot of Skies cast all their spells, instantly get killed afterwards. B-God somehow manages to reset a lot of cases and gets so much more value out of his hero than a lot of other Sky players.
I mean, this guy is a Skyreth player, for sure. That and the techies is what he's become very well known for at this point. Nice hook shot, finding Fly, just gonna remove him from the equation. That's a kill for Jubei. And they'll reclaim the triangle area here for the side of the cut.
Yeah, finally. They wanted to do this for a long time, but it was difficult to get the opportunity. So finally opening up, getting the D ward, very crucial. It's gonna make it easier for Medusa to go to a lane, go back to the tri-camp, just basically keep her efficiency up. So very important when she's trying her darnest to outfarm the Tiny, who is close to a BKB, about 300 or 400 gold to go.
Yeah, he's getting closer and closer to that, which will be very helpful because I feel like the Skywrath Mage has just proved to be such a problem, as they're going to just throw Mr. Jubei out of these cogs. The follow-up here is from Rajix, and they do have Scourge here. They don't have all their heroes, though. They don't have Arteezy, so... Looks like they're considering pushing the envelope a little bit. They're going to put Nightfall very forward here to clean up some of these Dusa illusions. Abed doing a bit of hunting.
Little cheeky creep hitting here. B-God's sitting as well.
This could be a
they
dead
cannot kill
B-God.
Nightfall.
Yeah, look at this. Crit hunting breaks down the trees. Is like, where is he? But he can't see him in the corner.
Oh, B-God did. Successful hide. Shaggy being chased by Abed as well, but I don't think he's too worried. Does he have, is this his only remnant? He's got a remnant in a bad place. He's kind of screwed now, I think.
They dropped the vision too. They want to make sure that they have this. They'll drop the fatal boss. He is just toast. All right,
yeah.
All right.
Okay. In hindsight, unfortunate that it was Ember dying and not B-God, but yeah, he didn't have a remnant ready to go in a safe place. Ends up getting ran down by the bat with that overwhelming slow.
I feel like I hear Jenkins in my ear just like, yeah, it's classic Shaggy. I feel like that's what he's saying upstairs right now. Like, yeah, he did that. He did that when he was playing with us. But the smoke over on EG, they're hunting. They know that there are a couple heroes over here. In fact, they'll go and they'll find themselves 2. Mystic Flare comes out, they'll blow up Crit, but they'll end up getting the kill on B-God finally. And Jubei, he's trying to hook shot out. He cannot.
Completely wrong.
Rare case where Crit gets out-mechanicked by somebody. I mean, they both basically saw each other at the same time, blind, right? But B-God instantly silences him. He doesn't get the dispose off, and as a result, he gets killed. But still a great tactical movement for EG. They have one dead hero. They instantly cross the map looking for more kills, which net them D-wards and more stuff to do.
Trying to force away here. The go, the drop, the upheaval to
there it is.
Out. There it is, Purge. And it's going to slow down Shaggy just enough so they can get themselves that kill. And the drain is on. They go for the refresher that's completed on Nightfall. He is just chasing after Scourge here as Abed's cutting down trees. They're going to go and throw out the Solar Guardian, try to protect Scourge. So it'll be enough. There's still a tower up in that top lane. EG's just going to be content now with being able to... oh, there's a neutral item over there. Make sure you don't forget that. But they're going to take over the triangle and force the cut to try to flush them out.
If that one goes to Marcy here, he'll probably pass the old money rock over to the Warlock, most likely,
The big
as
boy
they
Philly.
start on Roche, exactly.
Yeah, they're just going to let them take this. Like, they have the vision on it, but they've already just shifted so many of their heroes over here. Scourge is in the bottom lane. Oh, but they do manage to find themselves Jubei, so they're going to punish him for being anywhere near this Roche pit. Even goes and uses the hook shot and the cogs just to buy a bit more time, but doesn't even matter. Arteezy's got himself the Aegis with the Immortal, and it looks like they're going to put pressure on the top lane.
Yep, free shard for Razor as well. Nightfall still the most farmed hero in the game on a Razor. 9-0-4. He's having a pretty good game, I would say. But the cut is sort of close still. I think they played really well this game to match EG as well as they have. They've had some moments where they out-team fought, out-executed them. That's a really good sign for them. But game right now is looking a little bit tougher here. Get pressured on the map, and it's time for high ground. That's going to be the tough thing. They can slow down and hold this, they have a chance, but they're going to have to kill Arteezy twice.
They are indeed, as Crit just picks up Arteezy, tosses him back. Just like, get out of there, boss. We're not ready to do this yet. And the BKB was
Like
popped on
that.
Rajix during that as well, so
Yeah,
that's going to give them
was
some
a tough
opening.
thing. If he doesn't pop BKB there, Abed could just blink with lasso.
Tiny is
May
so
do it
bugged.
anyways.
Yeah, the jump and the hook shot won't connect.
He's not even attacking, but towers are dying.
Yeah, I don't understand. My game is so bugged right now, too. I actually can't see any of the skills picked up. I think I'm stuck in Scourge's viewpoint, actually.
Okay.
This is proving to be an interesting game to cast with, though, only half the information.
I think he must have been like disposed while something else happened, or he still got stunned during some animation, and there's some weird feedback loop that happened.
That's
like,
possible, the rebound. Okay, there we go. I saw him do the toss up in the air, but you're not seeing him hit anything here. This is kind of hilarious. As they do get the lasso over onto Scourge and drag back. Tiny just staring everybody down here. He's got the BKB up. There's going to be the Stone Gaze coming out from Scourge. They're just going to turn away, though. Wait patiently. The Avalanche. All right, connecting over onto multiples. It's going to be the first life of Arteezy. He's coming back up again. Crit getting into position. They'll go and they'll use the refresher over on Nightfall. They're just climbing after Scourge here. And Shaggy trying to get out of this upheaval. It's really, really difficult. They lost Scourge. They lose Crit. B-God next to full. Rajix is going to get clicked down by Nightfall. And now Hi Shaggy, he's out of mana. The buyback coming out now from B-God, though. He's thinking he wants to go in. Maybe he can save anyone, but he just cannot. As he walks right back into the fountain. Shaggy, he's not ready to give up just yet, but they just have so many ways of slowing him and moving him out of the position that he wants to be. So EG, they'll take themselves a tower. They'll take themselves some kills, and now it looks like Arteezy's no longer bugged here, so we'll actually see some animation.
Safe to say, we're all very sad that he lost Aegis, because that reset his animation. That was like statue Tiny lashing out with damage somehow.
Just very
intimidating.
angrily staring at you, you know? He rolled a nat 20 on Intimidate, and they all just started taking damage from him.
Like a rock monument that just like in a horror movie lashes out and things die or something. I don't know.
That was very,
Specific?
yeah, very specific, as they do finally end up losing Arteezy with Nightfall. He's doing a lot of damage here. We'll get the kill on B-God. Turn his attention over to Jubei. You know, it is Arteezy who is the position one, but right now it's feeling like Nightfall's the one with all the power.
He's playing the margins quite well with his AC. He's got a Morbid Mass picked up. That's going to be Satanic for sure eventually.
This man has had no
20.
deaths.
Yeah.
None at all.
he picked
13-0
up
and
4 kills. Got 4 kills in that last team fight where they double racks out. Pretty good, yeah. Definitely a good day for Nightfall. And a Paladin Sword as well. I say let him keep it, honestly. Like, it's good on Tiny as well, but clearly Nightfall's owning.
Yeah, well, he's got it in his,
Look at that.
He's just so
stands there.
scary.
Yeah, and he's like wavering just a little bit. He's like moving back and forth. You're like, I can tell that statue's moving, right? And that's when it cleaves you.
He looks really terrifying to be sure, though.
Yeah.
What a feature. What a feature. All right. They're smoked up. They would like to pick off Shaggy here. They do have the lasso, but they're just going to scare him away for the time being.
Probably don't kill him with just the two of them, so normal stuff there. He's got the Caius on, try to lower the duration of those lassos and whatever else, plus the extra damage here, but Good little shield there on the courier by Abid, trying to scout the high ground, but very good of the cut to defend this cliff spot. If they do not, then it becomes basically difficult or very hard for the cut to play Dota. Both waves just get cut. That means eventually EG is able to go high ground, pushing in the top creep wave. That's the 1 point that makes it easy, but they can also just force in bot lane as well. And they're doing it a little tricky here. They're going to smoke in and look for a grab first. That ward is going to get spotted though. Daytime vision plus a sentry in position. They know where EG is sitting right now. Let's see how the cut react to this. Maybe they just sit and wait. No, Jubei's like, I'm going to run in and break the smoke with my life.
Well, they decide, all right, well, if they're not going to come to us, then we'll come to them. And look at the damage. Look at this building damage coming out. Do you get the lasso over here? So drag back over onto Medusa. Scourge, he's got the Stone Gaze. Go with the Solar Guardian from Ragic. So now Nightfall is separated a bit from the team, but look at the damage coming out from Arteezy. He just cuts Jubei in half like a can opener. And now High Shaggy forced away. There's going to be the buyback. Dispose back over on the side. The go to drop the Chaotic Offering. Ragic is just going to get pummeled to death. It's a triple kill now for Arteezy. Nightfall is just doing so much damage. He's killed Scourge. They're going to try to get themselves some more here. Can they finish off Shaggy? No, not quite yet. As they'll turn their attention over to the buildings on the side of Evil Geniuses. I'm not sure how they get them off these buildings, Purge. This is looking like it's going to be a 2-0. The toss forward of Mr. Rockman over onto Scourge, and it's doing a lot of damage. They'll have to be careful. Arteezy's sitting a bit low, but
still alive.
He is still alive, and their Ancient's going to crumble.